Hello everyone. Do you know Die letzten Tage der Menschheit, or The Last Days of Mankind? It's a drama by the Austrian writer Kraut, in which throughout 200 different scenes he describes the horrors and absurdity of war. These scenes show events he witnessed himself in Austria during the First World War, as well as some fictionalizations. One of my favorite scenes in it is when a man finds out about a famine that has started in Russia. And when he comes home and he walks up to his children, he loudly proclaims with a giant smile, "Children, great news! The Russians are starving!" An amazing scene in which Karl Kraus shows us how war and delusions can make people celebrate the horrific and disgusting. If you speak German, I recommend you try to get hold of the audiobook version read by Helmut Qualtinger. I was recently reminded of this play, and specifically that scene. Let's dig into why. So here we go. I'm amazed I didn't see any reporting on this on any English news sites. A man from Hamburg was reprimanded by a court and given notice that if he would ever send another so-called hateful comment on Facebook to the TV presenter Dunja Hayali again, he would have to pay a €250,000 fine. Dunja Hayali is the immigrant daughter of Iraqi Christians and was recently awarded a Golden Camera Award and held a speech during the ceremony condemning hatred towards migrants, even though she herself holds some rather questionable views on Jews. Yes, a German court of law has been involved over mean comments on the internet.
They got mean tweets and it hurt their feelings.
And please remember, this guy was dragged before a court and reprimanded for something that he didn't even do. He was told by a judge that if he would do something, if he would post a comment online which would be considered to be hateful by the recipient, he would be fined €250,000. €250,000. And I have no fucking clue what this guy was supposedly about to post. Nobody knows what he was about to post, if he was going to post anything at all. Was he a Nazi, or was he just criticizing her views? I don't know, and it doesn't even matter. Fact is, after this verdict, that today in Germany you can end up in front of a court for something you haven't even said yet, but that people are expecting you to say. Just take a second to think of the legal precedent this sets. Because what the fuck is defined as hateful? Well, in German law, and I'm not joking, it is defined as an assault on human dignity, which could be interpreted in any possible way. That means that you could end up with a €250,000 fine in this country if you call someone a fat cunt on Facebook. Which means that I will probably end up with some legal trouble if I continue this channel in the future. But continuing, not only do we now limit freedom of speech in our country, no, we have created Orwellian wrong-think laws. We have created a system that will get you into trouble for things you haven't even said yet. And do you know who has been organizing this system in Germany? Facebook. Yes, Facebook has announced that it will actively do more to combat wrongthink. They created the Organization for Online Civil Courage, which is a conglomerate of several European non-government organizations added up into a council with the official goal of countering online hatred. Sound familiar to anyone? Does it now? I'll leave links to the organizations that work together with Facebook to censor the internet and drag people before courts in the description of this video. If you wish to, you could read through them and find out more about, well, who runs them, who contributes to them. I know I will certainly be looking through these various organizations. And now this organization is cooperating with the German government and authorities to censor wrongthink and to get people dragged before courts. Facebook has even hired so-called customer care agents who are paid by Facebook to specifically search the internet for, quote, hate speech. And to what end? Well, as we saw, not just to merely get your comments or your accounts banned, but to get you into actual trouble in the offline world. I have no Facebook account, and if there was ever a time to terminate your account, that time is now. And for my American subscribers, if you think that Twitter's new Ministry of Truth is merely going to restrict itself to Twitter, think again. This horrible thing is merely a copy of what has infested us here in Germany. If it were only about Twitter, it would be fine. You could simply sit back and watch Twitter die as it loses accounts after accounts after accounts. But it isn't. The people who run Twitter's Ministry of Online Stasi is merely waiting for an opportunity to work with the state authorities to not just ban you from a social media platform, but to force you into conformity in real life as well. And you know what really pisses me off about all of this? The response by the German public. After all this shit we went through in the past 60 or even 100 years with the Gestapo, the Stasi and all sorts of wrongthink, we should really know better and should lift any kind of restrictions that we have so naively put on freedom of speech. But look at this here. This is why I use the comparison with The Last Days of Humankind by Karl Kraus. Vice Germany, whose authors have the likability of Nazi henchmen, have written an article in response celebrating the court's decision and also going so far as to proclaim that it is not enough that only they are being censored. Yes, they actually attack Dunja Hayali in this article for previous tweets that have a stench of anti-Semitism surrounding them. Not a single fucking thought is being put into how dangerous it is that the government is colluding with a corporation to control what you say on social media. Instead, they fucking celebrate it as progress and demand more. And look at this other article they wrote. The NPD, for explanation, is kind of a Nazi skinhead party in Germany. And the title of this article essentially is YouTube keeping the NPD alive? Or is YouTube keeping Nazism alive in Germany? Yes, I'm serious, that is the title of that article. Not content, and not the slightest bit critical about the gravity of the current situation, they proceed to demand censorship for YouTube. They demand that their Ministry of Truth may also be applied on YouTube. You know what killed the NPD in Germany? Public discourse. The NPD were and will always be a ridiculous bunch who lack the reasoning to back up any of their pathetic claims. You can't kill an ideology with force. An ideology can only kill itself through failure. Censorship didn't kill these fascists. Reason and debate did.